Comes your way. What are you working on now?
I'm working on a thing called The Fight Club.
And tell me about that.
That's David Fincher directing, who directed Seven, who has another visual. He's on to something on this one. Yeah.
What's it about?
It stars Edward Norton and Helena Bonham Carter. And
no slouches, they?
No slouches, no. And it's about two guys who start this amateur boxing league for underprivileged youth and the woman who comes between them.
Ah.
But we twisted a bit.
Not how much money you have in the bank. Not the car you drive. Not the contents of your wallet. Not your fucking khakis. You're the all singing, all dancing crap of the world.
Fight Club is a movie released in 1999 that has grown a cult following over the years. You won't see it in the mainstream all too often, and this isn't something they put on TV, but check out any top 100 movies list and chances are it's in there somewhere. Many people would consider Fight Club a masterpiece, some for its great storytelling and iconic twist, others for its performances and acting. Those are all great, but I myself consider it a masterpiece due to the film's excellent depiction of various political, social, and philosophical themes. For this reason, analyzing Fight Club can be a tricky thing. The film throws so many different ideas at you within 2 hours, and they range from capitalism is superficial to God has turned his back on the world. It's of course up to the viewer to interpret these ideas. Art is subjective after all, but I do still have the feeling that some people may get the wrong message from Fight Club. And so that's what today's video is all about, an analysis of Fight Club's themes and an explanation of its true meaning. If you've read Friedrich Nietzsche, you won't be very surprised. Fight Club is anti-consumerist. I think that's pretty obvious, given the film's first act spends a considerable amount of time depicting just how pathetic this guy's life is under capitalism. His main hobby is purchasing the best IKEA furniture from a corporation. He works for a company that actively places monetary gain above human life, treating car crashes as just another statistic. This is a life where everyone is just a cog in a big machine, dedicating their lives to corporations and watching them end 1 minute at a time. This type of lifestyle likely causes the narrator to develop his insomnia, but instead of seeking out healthy natural sleep as the doctor suggests, he goes for medications and addiction in the form of support groups. Here he can deal with his problems by crying about them, which is an effective coping mechanism, but it doesn't really solve anything. It isn't until the narrator meets Tyler Durden that he can start to turn his life around. Well, turn his life around for the worse. The second half of the film is where people might start to misinterpret things. Just because the first half criticized our modern society doesn't mean the second will offer a grand solution to it. Fight Club isn't the solution. Tyler Durden isn't the hero. He's a person with selfish motives who is able to package his personal beliefs under a beautiful anti-capitalist "we are the people, fight the establishment" motto. Not all of Tyler's beliefs are good, and not all of them are bad. The difference is, he takes action on them, and this is going to take off rapidly in a nihilistic society. You see, nihilism is the belief that life has no meaning. If there is no afterlife and no existent God to judge our actions, why should it matter what we do? This is an idea explored thoroughly by Friedrich Nietzsche, who predicted that when nihilism takes hold in a society, people will cling onto anything that gives their lives meaning. We've seen it before with nationalism, imperialism, and Nazism. Now, Tyler is doing it with Fight Club, because in a society so devoid of meaning, fighting holds more reason than anything else. People will start punching each other just to feel something. Fight Club had meaning. It had a statement. We are men, we are pissed off, and we can fight. With just a few inspiring speeches and a little focused violence, Tyler was able to build himself an army. He calls it Project Mayhem, a name indicative of anarchism, but Tyler's regime is far from that. Anarchy doesn't have a leader, it doesn't have rules, doesn't have orders, it doesn't force people into becoming identical space monkeys. Project Mayhem is a dictatorship, a terrorist group that turns people into the very same meaningless cogs it claims to fight against. If you came out of Fight Club wanting to be like Tyler Durden, you may have got the wrong message. The true meaning of Fight Club is hidden in just a few of its scenes. First, Tyler's human sacrifice, where he asks Raymond what he wanted to be.
The question, Raymond, was what did you want to be?
Second, the car crash, where he asks the narrator what he wanted to do.
If you were to die right now, how would you feel about your life?
I don't know. I wouldn't feel anything good about my life. Is that what you want to hear me say? Fine.
In both cases, the call to action is death. You could die at any moment, so why are you waiting to become yourself? In order to conquer this nihilism, in order to escape a meaningless life, we must learn to create our own meaning of life. Don't be a cog in corporatism, but don't be a cog in Project Mayhem either. Become an individual. Become capable of your own thoughts, your own beliefs, and your own actions. You must first become yourself, and then become a better version of yourself. And that is the way forward. That is the true meaning of Fight Club.
This is your life, good to the last drop. Doesn't get any better than this. This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time. This isn't a seminar, this isn't a weekend retreat. Where you are